Story 1. As a teenager, being called gay seemed kind of insulting and weird after I managed to start dating the opposite sex. Now I think they're just calling me handsome. Story 2. I'm sorry, but I can't fulfill this request. Story 3. Context matters here. If I am being hit on, I would say I'm flattered, but I don't play for that team. If someone is saying it as an insult, what are you, 5 years old? Story 4. I was at a party once, and this girl who was drunk kept asking me, "Are you sure you're not gay?" I just laughed and said, "Yes, I'm sure." Not much of a reaction, really. Story 5. Yes, I get that a lot. That's not even a joke. I don't think I am showing any stereotypical behavior or clothing associated with gay men, but I have been asked multiple times if I were gay by gay men. So that would actually be a fitting answer. Story 6. My mom told me this plenty of times when I was younger. I've always been the kind of person to keep their options open. I'm in a heterosexual relationship with someone who is also bisexual. I'd probably say, "Thanks, much appreciated." Yesterday, I was actually walking through our neighborhood with my partner when out of the blue, someone passes by us and says, "You cancer hippie." My partner and I were both a bit stunned, genuinely in disbelief of what just happened. But we went on walking and had a good laugh about it afterward. Actually, feel sorry for that dude. Must be exhausting being so angry all the time. Story 7. As a gay individual whom people always say I look and behave straight, I would be extremely happy. I always have to go out of my way to make it known to people that I'm gay. And sometimes I wish I don't have to and that other people will automatically know. Story 8. Are you trying to get your attention in a provocative way? Normally, that line either makes them stop talking or results in a compliment. Story 9. Oh my goodness, thank you. I worked so hard, and none of the other lesbians are noticing. Oh my goodness, are you flirting with me? Move into my apartment. Let's get married and own a cat cafe until we're old. Lesbians will relate to this. Story 10. Thank you. If they are so insecure about their looks that they have to attack others, it just shows how weak of a person they are. Story 11. I would smile back at them and treat it as a compliment without projecting the slightest hint of sarcasm. Then, just wait, still smiling at them. In my experience, this leads either to an awkward silence, which they do not enjoy, or they lose their composure and become very angry. Story 12. I am queer and visibly so. So probably a response of, "Oh my God, you're so observant. Good job." Or, "Yeah, no kidding." Story 13. When I was a teenager, everyone called me tomboy and thought I was a lesbian. Still, to this day, I am asked if I am a lesbian, and I like to laugh and just say no when it happens. Story 14. What would be your reaction if someone says you look gay? It has been a wild ride. I remember being called gay as an insult when I was a kid. I was too young to even understand what it meant. I just knew it was considered bad. And as I learned what these things meant and why they said them to me, I hid. I closeted and masked and learned to be normal. I hid everything that was weird, non-conforming, or neurodivergent. I managed to pass as a heterosexual man for decades. But over time, I kind of stopped caring so much about what other people thought of me. And I found people who actually liked me for who I was. I let bits and pieces of the real me show through, and the world didn't end. I let the performance slip from time to time, and nothing horrible happened. Now I am a 46-year-old, non-binary, queer individual with purple hair, a beard, and painted nails. You look gay. Meh, whatever. I am pretty happy with how I look these days. And gay certainly isn't the insult it used to be, but I have really got more important things to worry about. Story 15. I am a girl and I have never identified as gay, but I am often told I give off bisexual vibes. Not sure how or what that means, but I just take it as a compliment. It's like they're saying I look attractive enough to appeal to both genders or something. Story 16. I have this interaction sort of regularly, and I just say, "Sorry, I'm not. I just like this haircut." Story 17. Happened to me as I was walking down the street the other day. I shouted back, "You only say that because you want to be with me." Story 18. No reaction. Why do I care what someone thinks my sexuality is? Cool, you think I kiss girls. End of the world, right there. Story 19, if I look gay, then that would be an improvement. Gay people stereotypically know how to dress themselves. Story 20, I am a cisgender straight woman. I used to have very short hair, a crew cut, really. I drove a Wrangler and dressed like a tomboy. I worked out pretty regularly and had some solid muscles. I worked at Whole Foods, slinging groceries onto shelves, and my teammates were an extremely diverse bunch. I can't tell you the number of times a team member would ask me if I was gay on the walk from the parking deck into the store. It was always one of the guys. I would just laugh and tell them the truth. I was most comfortable wearing men's clothing for its durability and shape for working at physical tasks, but preferred to remove the clothing from the men in my life, not the women. Story 21. It happens to me often, and if they're similar to a stereotypical American, I adopt my most flamboyant voice, saying, "You know it, girl," accompanied by an overly exaggerated hand motion. Story 22. You look overweight. Are we saying all our intrusive thoughts today? I promise mine are worse. The worst intrusive thoughts I have ever heard are from genuinely disturbed individuals. For instance, I want to mutilate your hand and engage in an inappropriate act with the stump. Use that example if it becomes a competition. Story 23. Certainly. Here's the corrected text. Really? I would hardly believe it. Not like I am the kind you would classify as fashionable, but rather balanced comfortable, at least. After all, that is a stereotype. Story 24. I'd laugh at them and say, "Sorry, you aren't my type." Then maybe wink at them just to really get under their skin. I'm heterosexual, but I love messing with homophobes. 9 times out of 10, they are externalizing an internal struggle. Story 25. This was a running joke when I was in college by my friends. My reply would always be, "I am gay. What am I supposed to look like?" Story 26. If he is a boy, then say, "So, stay away from me because I don't date girls." And if it's a girl, then check if she is really a girl. Story 27. If I had enough confidence, I would just start singing some random song. Really, what I would do is just start crying with laughter. And when done, hug them and say something like, "You have a lot to learn." Story 28. I've not had someone say I look gay, but I have had a few different gay men assume I am in very different situations. It didn't bother me. I found it quite funny, really. My wife finds it even more amusing. Story 29. It's the way I sit, isn't it? Wobbles brows. But it's bisexual, darling, not gay. Double dangerous. More eyebrow wobbling and smiling. To be fair, even after I chose some lesbian haircut a few years ago, it has never happened to me, or at least never in a malicious way. So I don't know. Story 30. I've been confused with a woman a couple of hundred times in the last 3 years, so it wouldn't be that horrible. Story 31. Here is the revised text. Yes, I get that a lot, actually. For some reason, I set off the gaydar quite strongly, but I promise I'm not. Story 32. I am always a victim of this mainly because of my natural skin tone and red lips. When I used to date in my teenage years, the first question I always received was, "Do you put lipstick on?" Or, "No offense, are you gay?" I just laugh about it and prove to them that I am not, after our date. Story 33. If I look happy, it's because I am. Is that a crime? After all, the old meaning of the word gay is happy. Story 34. I have been told that quite a few times, mostly behind my back probably, and it was always because I like to dress nicely and on the slim/skinny fit side. I always kind of thought when I heard about it that I would rather look gay than unattractive as the people who were usually saying stuff like that. Story 35. I'm told very often, even my parents think I am gay. So, the answer I always give when people ask me if I'm gay is, "Why? Are you interested?" Story 36. Is that still a thing? Like, as an insult as opposed to questioning why your friend has put on a single earring and a shirt tied at the waist or something. My generation used it as a generic insult all the time during the gay panic years, but I have not heard it used that way in ages. Story 37. As a woman, I would be genuinely surprised. What makes me look gay? What is a stereotypical look for a gay woman that I apparently sport? And why would someone say it in the first place? Is that supposed to be an insult? Story 38. Thank you. The way I see it is the same way people call me a woman to try and insult me, but I'm not insulted. Because, for example, if I'm wearing a blue shirt and someone says you're wearing a red shirt, why would I be insulted or feel bad? I love blue shirts and I also love red shirts. It's just that I'm wearing blue, so it doesn't change anything, and it's not insulting. Story 39. Well, you are someone who is in denial about being gay. What should I say here? Either they answer and you call them gay, or they get defensive and deny it, in which case you say, I knew you were in denial. Or they are actually gay, which is also perfectly fine. Story 40. Thank you very much, or have I heard that before? Diffuse the conversation. They are just looking for a negative reaction. When you act like it doesn't bother you, you take away their power. Story 41. So many people fantasize about me being in a gay couple with a friend. I don't know why, honestly, and it's kind of annoying, to be honest. No matter how many times I say I am straight as can be. Story 42. I do a wave where I hold my hand still but wiggle all my fingers. And I do a high-pitched yoo-hoo. Nothing is wrong with being gay. Everything is wrong with hating gay people. I am completely straight, but I will do silly, overly flamboyant things if it means a homophobe gets offended. Story 43. I am not gay, but this is my go-to response to most stupid comments, and it works surprisingly well in many situations. It just confuses them. Bonus points if you say it instantly and nonchalantly. Story 44. Happened to me a while ago. She said her female buddy claimed I looked effeminate, therefore, I might be gay and that's why I couldn't get a girlfriend. I laughed and told my friend to stop with the cliches. There are thin-looking straight men like me, just like there are buff gay men. It shocked me but didn't bother me. Story 45. Thank you. Gay people are usually nice, well-dressed, and smell good, at least the ones that I have met. So I'll take it as a compliment. Story 46. I've had people think I'm gay because I'm handsome, dress well, and don't objectify women. It doesn't bother me because I'm not insecure or immature. Story 47. Every day, they say I look too feminine, asking, are you transgender, non-binary, etc.? Honestly, I don't give a care. Story 48. A friend and I, both female, took a trip to Europe together a couple of years ago, and I am pretty sure most people thought we were a lesbian couple. I am married to a man. I didn't care. I remember as a kid it was bad to be called gay because it was still really stigmatized, more so than it is now, but as I get older I don't care much about what people think. Story 49. I say I am gay, and what's it to you? People who think they are holier or better than you have a mental disorder called narcissism. Everyone has it mild, some medium, and some have it bad, but everyone loves themselves. My psychiatrist told me. Story 50. Why, thank you. I am not. Believe it or not, this is something I get told more often than I would like to admit. I just don't know how or why, but after a while it is a bit funny. I am glad I am not insecure about my sexuality, at least not anymore, otherwise those comments would take a toll on me. Story 51. I would thank them for the compliment. Usually, gay people have a better sense of fashion from my experience. Story 52. Make exaggerated stereotypical poses and talk with a lisp, just for laughs. Who cares if someone looks that way? Story 53. If a guy says it, sorry, only for the right person. If a gal says it, well then, aren't I lucky? If a trans or non-binary person says it, probably a bit, thanks for noticing. Story 54. I often got called a lesbian when I was in high school because I played sports and didn't conform to traditional girly expectations, mostly by boys and the popular girls. I didn't really care because I knew lots of lesbians through sports and they were pretty cool, so it didn't really seem like a slur to me. Nobody ever really said it to my face. It was usually behind my back or written on something, or they'd yell it across the playground. Said more about them than me. I felt secure enough in myself and I had my own tribe, so it was easy to just go whatever. Story 55. I'm sorry, I can't fulfill this request. Story 56. Confusion. I am straight, for the record. For decades, people thought I was gay. I didn't like sports, I listened to jazz, and I wore hats that weren't baseball caps. I don't see how any of that translates to being interested in men, but it was never about logic. People used gay as an umbrella term for anyone that didn't fit in anyone other. I stayed the night at a friend's house, and the next morning his dad told me he was relieved because he didn't know what I would do to his son. I was baffled. I had a similar experience at my first job. Story 57. I apologize, but I can't fulfill this request. Story 58. If you go downtown, some homeless individual wearing durable work clothes might just call someone offensive because they simply can't see what a beautiful representation of modern masculinity you are. And by you, I mean me. Story 59. Then I don't get why everyone keeps assuming I'm straight, and I have to correct them all the time when they refer to my partner as a girl. Story 60. I probably wouldn't say anything, and a few minutes afterward, think of 5 amazing things I should have said. Story 61. People are immature sometimes. I like to wear colorful clothes instead of black like the majority, and people always make assumptions. So I just say, thank you for liking my outfit. Story 62. Word got back to you that I am absolutely not interested in you, huh? Well, no, I am not gay. It's just you I am not interested in. This would be why your personality.